This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next 2 hours, we're going to take a look at a wide variety of things where we take a look at everything from the American Cancer Society fundraiser coming up in a couple of weeks here in Southern California to taking a look at an attorney who is actually fighting the government, Big Pharma, big companies, and we're going to start with that right now. His name is Mike Papantonio. He is the host of the nationally syndicated radio show Ring of Fire with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Sam Sater. He hosts America's Lawyer on RT America Network. I have a friend who works on that one as well, Holland Cook. He's president in, in 2012 was elected the president of the National Trial Lawyers Association. He's received all kinds of accolades. He's written books. We'll talk about those. But I just want to know about Mike. How did you decide, Mike, to take your legal career and go after Big Brother?
Well, from the start, I was recruited. I'm a trial lawyer. People don't quite understand what that means, but in the United States right now, there's about 800,000 lawyers, but there's only less than about 1/8 of 1% of us that actually try cases for a living. So I'm hired to try cases of all kinds, and it started out with me trying cases against the asbestos industry for other lawyers. I would try cases all over the Southeast. People would have huge numbers of asbestos cases, but unfortunately they simply had no training in how to try cases. So it started there, and then from there I started going after the big pharmaceutical companies and the environmental polluters. And it just kind of, after 35 years, I'd say by year 3 it kind of had set, and I understood that that's kind of what I wanted to do with my time. And I've never been one to do auto cases or the typical run-of-the-mill kind of plaintiff cases, and I just have always done this type of specialty. So that's where I end up after 35 years.
35 years, wow. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of lawyer jokes, right? But
tons of them. Yeah.
Tons of them, and you probably know each one of them and all their variations. But the fact is, right?
I've heard most of them, sure.
Right, but the fact is that you're actually using the law to make life in America better.
Well, the problem is people always believe that the cavalry's coming for, when it's a pollutant. Like, for example, right now I'm working on the Monsanto case. Roundup is killing people by the hundreds and thousands all over the globe. And we have a government that is not the cavalry. Government is not going to do anything about that. The media is not going to do anything about it because the media gets so many advertising dollars every year from companies like Monsanto and Bayer. And then we think, well, okay, regulators are going to do something about it, but they don't do anything about it because, well, they end up going to work for the industry. We think maybe the Department of Justice will do something about it, but they don't because, criminals in the United States, white-collar criminals, don't go to prison. They simply pay fines, and it's some character out on the street corner that sell 3 ounces of marijuana that ends up going to prison. So, there's a very naive notion in people's minds that there's always, I guess we came up on MGM movies where, you're pinned down, that wagons are turned over, and the bad guys are coming for you. You're out of food, you're out of ammunition, you're out of water, and then all of a sudden the cavalry comes over the hill. There is no cavalry. Okay?
Yes, there is, Mike.
No
there is.
It's all help. Yeah.
Mike, there is. You're the cavalry.
Well, thank you for saying that. Sometimes I feel like I need about 10,000 soldiers with me. But, the truth is you do change things. I just finished up a case in Ohio against DuPont, and I was hired by lawyers up there that had these cases, and they simply didn't know how. They were good lawyers, but they simply weren't trial lawyers. They're what we call office lawyers. They handle, $10,000 automobile cases, and they do a good job with what they do, but this was just out of their league. So I was hired to try a series of those cases against DuPont. 70,000 people up in the Ohio River Valley were poisoned by something called C8, which, by the way, is all over your water there in California. C8 is a toxin that is it's generated by in the process of making Teflon.
Oh,
Matter of fact,
and Teflon is not good either.
No, Teflon itself creates an off-gassing of C8. So, but anyway, C8 unfortunately causes several different kinds of cancer. It causes birth defects. It causes, actually, at the cellular level of DNA, there's a DNA change that C8 is capable of imposing. So the point is, at a billion, I think by the time it was over, DuPont paid $1 billion is what I settled this process for the first round. But the point is that the money was important, but what was more important is the media finally started picking up on it. They had to. They didn't want to because DuPont's a big advertiser for them, and they like the dollars. It's all corporate media is all about the money. I mean, they simply have shows to pay for so they can show you advertisements. And
well, of course, but then that's why there are programs like Late Night Health and Ring of Fire.
Yeah, well, we hope so. America's Lawyer deals with it all the time.
And America's Lawyer, yeah.
Had we not taken that case, Mark, there wouldn't have been any recognition of how dangerous C8 is. And now there's a documentary that's coming out, I think this month. It's called The Devil We Know. And it talks about how dangerous C8 is, and now it's in about 90% of the entire American public has it in their blood, and they don't even know it. So
at home, at your house, at your personal home, do you have any Teflon-coated pans?
Oh, no. Well, yeah, we have some old ones. We don't use them. We use, we use butter and oil. It works just as well.
Absolutely.
So anyway, the point is, it is self-help, and I don't know. I think people become victims because they think somebody's, going to pull a sword out of a stone and going to change things for them. But the only reason the DuPont case took place was because you had some very courageous local people that said, we think that this is a problem. And sure enough, they kept digging, and they put together a group of citizens there in the community that discovered that the C8 was all in their drinking water. But they had to do something, rather than sitting in, woe is me and oh, poor pitiful me. They went out and did something. They united, and they put together a citizens organization that confronted DuPont, and it brought me into the case because it gave me the sense that, okay, I'm not there fighting by myself. I have people that'll help. That's what I look at on every case. Before I take a case, I want to know, well, what's going on with the general community? Are they going to help? Are they going to just count on me doing everything and something miraculous happening? It has to happen at the grassroots level.
Right now, we have an epidemic of addictive opiates being prescribed by doctors, insurance companies taking over, telling doctors what to do. It was just announced yesterday or maybe this morning that President Trump has asked for the EPA to be dismantled. What's going on in this world?
Well, let's take one at a time. I mean, each has its different story. The hospital corporation, for example, people don't realize hospitals aren't what they grew up with. They used to grow up with doctor hospitals where doctors made decisions based on the science and what their training was. A hospital corporation is just like any other corporation. It's just like the Exxon Corporation. All they really care about is what, at the end of the day, how much money have they made for their shareholders. So it's kind of an inverted pyramid. The pyramid used to be, at the very top was patient care. That was what the important issue was. Patient care, and then you would build your organization around patient care. Were you properly staffed? Were the doctors that you hired appropriate? Was the equipment that you had enough? Did you have a system that actually looked out for the interest of the patient? And now what you have is that inverted, that pyramid is now at the very top is how much money did we make last year? And you're seeing it disguised in all different types of ways. One way that you're seeing is what they call the nonprofit hospital. Well, the nonprofit hospital is a joke. It's a scam. And all it means is everybody's making a ton of money, and at the end of the year, whatever money they have left over, they buy more property, and they call it, we needed this property for some reason or another. They buy a new building. So or they give themselves big bonuses. So it's a scam, and so but there again, most people don't get that. They go to the hospital. It's been like a frog in boiling water. They haven't understood that as they've been going to the hospital for years. That hospital is now a corporation. It's no different from Exxon or DuPont or Merck or Pfizer. It's simply a corporation. So that disconnect doesn't allow them to objectively take care of themselves. Okay, they think, oh well, the doctor in the corporate hospital tells me this is what I need to do. Let me go do it.
Well, when your parents would go to the doctor and they would respect what the doctor would say, and the doctor would say jump, and your parents and my grandparents would say how high. But today the question is, why do you want me to jump so high? Or why do you want me to jump? Should be, right? Yeah. We're going to take some time out, do some business. We'll be right back. Our guest, Mike Papantonio. He's a senior partner at Levin Papantonio, one of the nation's largest plaintiff law firms, an author, a radio host, a TV host. He's done it all, and he's really pulling the sword out of the stone for the rest of us here in the United States. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Darrell Wayne. Josh Lane sitting in, kind of listening as well. We're going to take some time. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Join us at latenighthealth.com, latenighthealth.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment.
Old souls may be the ones who've been around the block a few times, but they're also the ones who know how vastly beautiful that block is. They're the ones who still stop to smell the roses, and they always stop to drink in every small moment of life. Life may seem like it's all about seeking moments to smile, but I find it's about smiling for every moment you experience life. And old souls know this best. They're the ones who treat life like a garden. They know the only things that will ever grow within that garden are the things they've placed there, nurtured and tenderly cared for with all their heart.
For more inspiration from Robert Clancy, visit guidetothesoul.com or go to the Moments with Robert page on latenighthealth.com.
Want to generate more leads for your business? How about building a stronger social media following and better brand credibility to help increase your closing ratio? At Easy Way Promotions, we can help you to stop doing it the hard way and start doing business the easy way. With $1 billion relationship equity, a digital reach of 100 million plus, and over 18 years of business experience with entertainment and nonprofit, Easy Way Promotions is sure to boost your business. On March 24th at 5 p.m., come join us at the Business Expo Center in Orange County near Anaheim Convention Center. We're celebrating host and social media mogul Eric Zuli's birthday with a benefit supporting American Cancer Society. Come hang with over 30 celebrities and influencers, over 20 red carpet media outlets, and enjoy some amazing food and drink with a celebrity chef. For more info or to RSVP, call 877-399-2929 or download our free mobile app at easywaymobile.com. That's letter E, letter Z, W-A-Y. We'll see you there. This message brought to you by SafeSolutionsNow.com.